Welcome to Girls Run These Worlds. My name is Amber. My pronouns are they, them. And tonight we are playing Ink, which is the latest TTRPG by Snowbite Studio. Ink is, hold on, let me actually take it directly from the PDF so that I have a better way of saying it. Ink is a cooperative tabletop role-playing game designed for 1 to 6 players and a game master. Not Jam Master, Amber. Game master. The game can also be played solo, and as with other tabletop role-playing games, players play as characters in a world created and brought to life by the GM. However, in Ink, players take on the role of spirits searching to escape a limbo-like afterlife. These characters can be the spirits of characters or NPCs that players have used in other tabletop role-playing games, or they can be created from scratch. Each player's character has both a spirit and a shadow. The spirit can talk, act, and make thoughtful decisions. Its shadow is an animalistic companion that takes over the spirit's actions completely when it is threatened. And every spirit stuck in the ink is split in this way, 2 halves bound together among the mists. In this game tonight, I do want to make sure that we are providing some general content warnings just because of the nature of the game. We are going to be discussing heavily themes of death and circumstances surrounding folks' death, potentially losing a loved one. Hold on, I'm also looking through these backstories to make sure that I have it. Siblings, gambling, and yes. So if any of these potential topics could be harmful to you, please, no harm, no foul. Please feel free to get off. I mean, to close the X on your tab, find something comforting and cozy. We will not hold you against it. But if you would like to stay and watch this game, we are more than happy to have you with us. Okay, so I do want to first briefly ask everybody to go ahead and introduce yourselves with your name, your pronouns, and then your character's name, pronouns, and maybe like one little thing about like their powers, what they can do, and then we can start play. So let's start with Ava. Ava, can you tell us about yourself and your character?
My darlings and dears, hello, it's your mother Ava here. My pronouns are she, her. I'm going to be playing a character known as the concept of devotion. She also uses she, her pronouns, and she is the Thane shadow, which for her, it symbolizes the concept of water, typically cold, but what if hot? What if hot water?
What if? What if hot water? Wonderful. Next, I am going to go down here on the overlay with Angela. Can you tell us about your character and yourself? Not necessarily in that order.
Hello there, everybody. My name is Angela. I use she, her pronouns, and the character I'll be playing also uses she, her pronouns. Her name is Saris, or at least it's the name that she remembers. She is a spirit who is grappling with a lot of loss about and leaving someone behind that she doesn't quite remember anymore. Her shadow is based around the form of Bastion, which is defensive, protective, and is built from her death of having gone through a car crash where she burned to death. So that is me.
And last but not least, Julie. Please introduce yourself, your pronouns, and your character, their name, their pronouns, and a little bit about themselves.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Julie, or Julie CL. I use any, all pronouns, whatever's good. And today, the character I'm bringing to the table, she goes by Risk, bit of a real asshole, jerk face, bit of a mess, bit of a schemer. As a result, her shadow has taken the form of the Fen, which is the sneaky shadow that destroys things by eroding them from the inside. So that's the type of being that Risk has found herself with in this afterlife world. Just a fun, creepy little thing. As for what it looks like, we'll get there.
Sorry, I was typing something really quickly and I had to panic because I was like, oh no, Julie's wrapping up. Shit, type faster, faster.
I can
Okay,
talk
great.
more. You
No,
know
you're
what's
good, you're good.
Green tea.
Green tea is very good. And you can make it with water that is also hot.
Hot water. What if hot water? Green tea.
What if? Wonderful. Well, thank you all. I'm really excited to take you all through this journey tonight. And I also would like to remind everybody in chat right now that we do have a giveaway going on. We are giving away a copy of Ink once it's finished. Once it's finished from Snowbright Studio, the folks behind this lovely game. And if you haven't heard of Snowbright Studio, I believe they are at S Bright Studio on Twitter, if I remember correctly. And they created tea time adventures, which is that really, really wholesome, like tea time TTRPG with like little animals, and they're really cute. I have it over there. They also made Birds of a Feather, which is also a really nice like bird card game. And they have a lot of other really cool things coming up the pike. I also have a very personal connection with them. But anyway, I love So Bright Studio. So you should hit !Ink away in the chat, or !Ink away sub if you're subscribed to the channel. Oh, it looks like Sarah has a tea time pitch incoming. I love tea time. It's so good. It's such a good game. I also I bake tested the baked goods in the book too. So yeah, really good. Anyway, all that to say, if you are ready to play, then go ahead, sit back, roll your shoulders back, take a deep breath, and we'll dive into the ink together. The three of you have been traveling for so long together over the course of eons, and in the ink, time passes. It just passes. There's no really real way of telling how much time has passed, how many moons have elapsed, what have you. It just is. And the thing about the ink is that once you're here, the ink is fighting to bring anyone down into it, to become one of this innumerable spirits that make up the black expanse of nothingness that gives the ink its name. But the three of you have made it. The three of you have been traveling together for however long, fighting, going from key to key to learn more, not only about yourselves, but more about each other and the burdens that you have shouldered through your entire journey. It's honestly heroic, the different little moments that you've shared under a completely blank sky, save for, of course, one lone moon reflecting so I'm trying to find a good word, but then Taylor Swift is in my ears right now, kind of ruining it. Anyway, the moon on the ink just reflects in just one small sliver, expanding long, almost like a finger beckoning to follow, for you to follow its path. The three of you have, maybe recently, maybe a while ago, who knows how long, again, how much time has passed, moving from one key to the next. But what I would love to do in this moment is for the three of you to introduce yourselves, describe who you are, and invite us into like a little bit of like almost a vignette of the memories that you have remembered up until this point. Don't clamor all at once.
Sure. Risk will go. Risk's form that she takes in the ink is pretty similar to the one that she took in the mortal realm. Big, oversized jean jacket, baggy camo pants, combat boots, beanie with jagged black hair pointing out, from it. The big difference is that she's got on the back of each of her hands numbers that are kind of moving up and down. She thinks that they correspond to the amount of money she has and the amount of memory shards that she's collected during her time here. But sometimes it feels like they go up and down at random. So she's kind of just not sure if the ink is fucking with her or what, but that's her deal. Are we physically hanging out? Are we walking? Either way, Risk has her hands behind her head, kind of pouting regardless, furrowed brow, like she's trying to figure out a math equation. And I think in the flashes of memory that she sees, let's say she's recovered about 85% of her time in the mortal world. It's the flash, the lights, the color of a good slot machine, the sound when all the coins tumble out of it, and that feeling that just pulls you in for more. And that very same feeling that led her into debt, that led her into moving into the wrong crowds, that led to her death. She thinks at age 30, she's not quite sure. And that's Risk, baby. She's here for hopefully a long time and a good time.
You took that straight from my brain. Love that. So yes, the three of you are actually traveling on, like, I would say like a schooner, like not a huge ship, but not like a small one either, enough to give you all a nice place to rest your head, like a nice place to keep watch for any potential disturbances through the ink. There have in your past, I'm sure, on your travels here through these expanses, come across some krakens or potentially, giant squids, shooting, of course, what else, but they're inky black at you as a trying to get you. Sorry, my knee is giving out and I need to adjust.
No, not your knee.
It's
Save
okay.
the knee.
Hashtag save the knee.
Hashtag save the knee.
Yeah, so you've run into giant squids, krakens, I mean, all forms of terrifying, unknowable sea creatures that just lie in wait for whatever to fall over the edge of the boat. But what is one thing, Risk, that you have contributed to this crew? What is one thing that, like, you have done to show that you have been on this boat?
Absolutely. Risk never stops planning and is always very vigilant. So I think even though Risk is hanging out with her hands behind her head, she's got one eye open at all times, just kind of scanning the water ahead of them, looking for any other seafood that they might come across. And in addition to Risk keeping watch, there's this kind of four-legged thing that almost looks like a spider kind of hovering around Risk on the boat as well. When we get a closer look at it as it moves towards Risk, it looks like a golden coin with four spider legs coming out of it. And it very slowly like crawls up her arm and into the collar of her shirt.
Ooh.
She's always watching, and so is her little friend.
Did we say hello to your little friend?
Absolutely. That's all we see of the little friend for now. It might show more later.
Excellent. So let's shift the camera just a little bit, introduce another member of the crew. Who wants to go? Who feels fated to come up next?
I can do it.
Ooh.
So on the ship, you see a weird shifting form of a woman. Looks like she's in her Sunday best, but sometimes it shifts to armor. It just depends on the way that the light, whatever type of light we have here, hits her. But for now, she's just leaning against a wall, fan in hand, and just gazing off, thinking of nothing of real importance. She goes by devotion here, but in her previous life, she had many names. A common one was Ida. And the most important feature she has is that her skin is blue, like what an ocean color would be, and hair that seems to flow like waves, albeit with little sparks of fire at the very end for her. And she's just humming along, fanning her fan, just thinking.
And when you're thinking, what images come to mind? You've been on this journey for completion, right? This
Mhm.
quest to figure out, to finally fit all the puzzle pieces together. And as you are feeling, well on the other side of this completion quest, what thoughts are crossing through your mind? What memories are present?
I think she reflects back to her most recent passing. There was a moment where it felt like it wouldn't happen. Everything was going according to plan. But then one of them, someone she trusted and she thought she loved, betrayed her and her people, her team, and they were just all wiped out in an instant. And she's just thinking, this keeps happening. I don't know what I have to do to just make this journey be the last, but it just keeps happening, doesn't it?
I think you hear whispers from the other side of the boat, like the other side of the boat, as if coming from almost coming from nowhere, disembodied whispers. What's stopping you from finding out? What's stopping you from finding out? Maybe you should come this way. Come over here. What's over here?
Y'all
Find it
cheeky.
here.
I may not remember all the times I've been back here, but I do know. You ain't gonna get me today.
You should visit us. You should come say hello. Maybe you'll find what you're looking
Hush now. Go to sleep.
What's something that you brought to this boat? What is something that is uniquely devotion that is on this boat right now and would not exist without your presence?
I think it is, just as her title is, her absolute devotion to the people that she surrounds herself with and trying to complete this journey. Out of all of them, she remembers the very flashes of time she's been here before. So every now and then she'll be able to point them in a shortcut, um, lead them to an area where it's safe to rest her head. But all the while, just making sure everyone is doing well, even albeit sometimes forgetting about herself.
Sorry, This Is Me Trying by Taylor Swift just started, and I'm like, oh, how perfect. Listen, I just wanted you to know, Ava, that this is me trying. Anyway, but no, so yeah, there's almost like a sensation of the feeling of your lover's touch running gently up your arm. It's comforting. It's yearning. Maybe it's calling you.
I'm always a sucker for that one.
And you should dive in.
How about later?
Let's shift the camera to Angela. Angela, tell us about Saris. What does Saris look like? How is she feeling? What memories has she unlocked over the course of her journey?
Saris is above average height, I think, for a woman. So she's roughly about 5'9". She is. She probably looks somewhere around late 30s, early 40s, but the wrinkles on her face make her feel and look a lot older. The way she carries herself and her body, it always feels very heavy, as though she has this perpetual weight on her back, and every now and then as she walks, she moves with slight pains in her body, sometimes walking around with the help of like a cane that she's brought with her and she's found throughout the journey. And there's always a back and forth of her like hesitating to use it. There's like this sense of, I think, shame that she kind of registers on her face every time she feels like she needs to use it.
Ouch, same. Sorry.
My cane is literally right there. It's right there. I've had to resist using it today solely because I'm like, I need to see whether or not this is my actual pain or is it just me walking around. Which pain is it? It's fun when you have to ask that question.
Who knows?
They'll never
It's
know.
the worst game in the world.
No one wins. Everyone cries. I think it's somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But I think she's kind of like almost like a bob haircut that I think has just actually lengthened over time on one side. I think she's taken the time to like try and cut it on the other. Because for some reason, when it's asymmetrical, it feels more right to her. It feels more akin to like who she used to be. And I think she's wearing it's very much like the shirt that I'm wearing. It's like very vibrant. There's a lot of different colors and patterns to it. And she also, this part of her feels distinctly like this is a front. And she remembers now that like this is not something she would normally wear. But for some reason, she knows she used to wear it a decent amount. I think that's kind of where she's at. There's probably she's a bit away from the group right now. And there's in terms of describing like her shadow, I think it's kind of this it's taking the shape. At some points it looks like it's just taking the shape of like a dog. At other points it's taking the shape of like a teenager, but it always has these pair of like very beautiful brown eyes that are always staring at her. And she can never tell what the meaning of those eyes is supposed to be. There's something about them that they remind her of something important, but she doesn't know what it is.
I'd say in this moment, tell me, where do you stand on the boat? We have Risk, who's like big anime character energy. Like,
I'm in the back, baby.
Don't fall over,
Yeah.
Lucy.
We've got Devotion, who's probably, starboard, if starboard exists on this kind of boat, you know what I mean? Who's just kind of leaning, kind of gazing out over into the ink. But Saris, where would you be located today as you're just going over this part? Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for your patience as we just dealt through a quick little difficulty, but we are good. Before the break, we just introduced our three characters. Risk, who is starting to recall memories of her past and her addiction with gambling, her problems with that, but also being a little bit of like a Spike Siegel kind of moment, you know? Yeah, it just everyone needs a space cowboy. We also had Devotion, who has cycled through the ink many times before, but has never really found purchase, has never really found completion in her quest and all of her lives. But there's something still holding her back. She doesn't quite know what it is. And then finally, we have Saris, who hears the echoes of someone important to her. There's some little nagging part in the back of her mind that knows that she's deeply connected to somebody, and that is what's preventing her from moving through the ink. And we come back. The camera opens back up. Circle wipe, if we're going to do that. Oh, we're wearing tiaras? Okay, hold on.
You just have that?
And yeah.
Mine's downstairs. I'll get it during the next break.
No,
What do I have?
I mean the hat is good, Julie. I just
Thank you.
you never know when you need a flower crown, right?
So true.
So let's do this. Sing Saris, I'm so sorry. I did have to cut. Oh, now I got a flower in my hair. Saris, I'm so sorry. I did have to cut your scene just a little bit short, so we're going to resolve that. As you are staring in the table and you are contemplating or like filing through your memories like a student through the stacks, you're going through and searching. There's almost like an imprint of the two eyes that keep nagging in the back of your mind, that keep something pricks like an epiphany as you kind of look into the knots in the wood, well worn through time and maybe through worry, but there's something about them that seems familiar. What about what's kind of going through Sarah's mind when you contemplate this pattern in the table?
I think the pattern she's seeing worn out at some spots is that I think maybe cheekily someone has like, if anyone's ever been at like just a community park bench and seen folks who like scribble and stuff or like carve out their initials or anything in it, I think someone's done like a little pair of wings. And I think she has a moment there she realizes she has this like strange set of associations that suddenly start kicking in. She like thinks wings, and then she thinks angel wings, and then she suddenly starts thinking about names related to like angels and seraphs, and she lands on the name Michael, and she knows it's not that name, but there's a name somewhere adjacent to that name, somewhere like in that web of association that belongs to someone close to her. She doesn't know what that name is. It's like on the tip of her tongue, but she can't find it. She's like desperately almost starting to like claw at like her hair, like frustrated at it, and she can't find that name, but she knows now like she's on the edge of finding it. And I think there's one other thing too. I think she has a realization of like there was another name attached to it, and it's this mixture of like joy and horror that goes through her name, where she has a sense of like Saris isn't the right name either. She doesn't know what the name's supposed to be, but she knows that another name is attached to whoever this person is. She knows her name is attached to that name, but it's not Saris. It's the only name she has right now.
Okay. All right. I needed to process that for a second. All right. So the three of you are kind of holed up in your own little spaces. Kind of, you've been originally been given direction on which key to go to. And for those listening, my dear listeners with us tonight, a key in this world is another name for an island that has been created and built on the souls of those who have been lost on them. Truly built from the keys to their memories, the keys to their pasts that they've lost. And you all have been traveling from key to key to key, running your schooner across the silent, almost gentle lapping waves of the ink as you're going to the next one. When the lapping waves stop and your boat comes to like a jerky stop, like you hear the sloshing, as something is disturbing the boat underneath you, and big, long, black, like shimmering obsidian black tentacles rise up from underneath the boat and start to hold on to it. One long tentacle entwining on the rear and the other on the front. And a large head pops up over the front bow. I think is that the word? I'm gonna say that's the word. Just a large giant squid rising from the depths, holding on tight to your boat. What do you do? What do the three of you do?
Risk immediately sits up as soon as the tentacles come up, and she shouts, "Calamari alert!" and then runs across the ship. Risk loves putting up a front. Absolutely just terrified in this whole situation, but hey, early bird gets the worm. She's running up to the thing, and you can maybe see her little spider gold coin spirit thing crawling like under her sleeve towards her wrist as she's getting ready to fight. And also shouting to everyone, "Wake up, sleepyheads!"
Oh, is it time again? Oh, I was wondering when things were gonna get interesting. Sarah's honey, you good?
I think she's kind of she's created her own sense of like a gloom following her, and the shadow is just sort of like slowly taking the form of like someone younger than her, and just sort of the eyes looking directly at her, like raising her chin up and just being, and all she's hearing is like, it's not time yet. Like she's just hearing that on repeat in her head, and she's like trying to pay attention, and the shadow's just doing like one of these like slight like, come on, you're not gone yet. Come on.
Oof, painful, but correct for this moment. At the phrase calamari alert, if a giant squid could prickle, it prickles. You see like a ripple of like consternation go through its pointed dark features, as if it's never been called like that's what an insult that you don't just hear
So
all the
rude.
fucking time.
So I
So
see your
rude.
past life was as an appetizer at the Court Square Diner. All right, bring it on, big guy.
Oh no, we're going to lose Risk.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh no.
I was just going to ask for a couple coins, but if I could use a
Oh
snack if you're
no,
calling
no,
me
no,
one.
no. Oh no. Oh no. Risk, please.
You look appetizing, the one with the numbers. What do you taste like?
Oh, I'm not something that goes down easy.
I'm
Gotta
sorry, are
process
you
that
coming
one.
on to me? I'm a squid. I don't
You have to
Fuck
understand, Risk is very open-minded.
Look, I'm just saying, you're gonna ask us for coins. Is this like a taxation thing? Like you're not letting us pass unless we pay you? Or is this like a charity thing? If it's a charity thing, we can talk.
I just want to know who you are and why you think you can encroach on my land. You're awfully close to this key. Who says I should let you pass?
We're
Legitimate
searching
question.
for something. We're searching for, like many other of the wandering spirits in this place, searching for answers, searching for truth, as is our right. And if you decide to try and stop us from getting there, Devo, you got a kinder heart. If you wanna talk to the thing, feel free. Risk sits down, cross-legged on the deck, crisscross applesauce, not taking her eyes off of the squid.
Thank you, dear. Now, is there a term that you wish to be called, my dear? Kraken? Squid? I know not calamari. That's quite rude of
No,
my friend.
that is very insulting.
I'm
We're
so
more than
sorry. At
that.
least she did that.
I'm tempted to name it Katutsi based off of the chat, but
Chat. Settle down, chat. Settle down.
no.
Already-
It's just flashbacks to Paxu. Anyway, I'm nameless. I am just merely the guardian of this particular key, and my name matters not. What matters is the memory of those who have remained inhabitants on this island. I don't know. I've seen so many people pass through this who've been given passage through here, who have demolished the memories of those who are just looking for peace. How am I to trust that you aren't also looking to cause similar destruction, my dear aimless spirits?
Well, it's hard to give a guarantee for that. I know that I myself and my companions, we do our absolute best to keep things as respectable as possible, because we wouldn't want that for ourselves. But as you mentioned, you've been through so many of these times, and you've seen different people, different beings come and go, and some of them are downright cruel. And there's no way for us to give a confirmation of our sincerity. But I'm sure if you find something is unjust in our actions as we pass through, you will enact swift punishment to us. And I honestly think that that's quite valid and understandable for us.
Do you have a particular skill that you're using? This is Amber talking. Hold on. Let me switch out of
Uh,
mommy voice and into the GM voice. Do you have a particular skill you're using on me? No, I'm just
Power of vocal fry.
well, I don't want to use combust. That's a
No.
given.
That would actually make
That would-
calamari, ironically
that would-
enough.
That
That
would
would make-
facilitate the calamariification of said creatures.
And I don't want to
Calamarification.
do that. Hmm, hmm. Abilities, general powers. Do we have access to the general power stuff? Or
I would say so, yeah.
okay. I mean, maybe charm. That seems to be like a decent enough thing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Give me a charm roll. I need you to beat a 7, and you have positive karma here.
Okay.
And while Ava rolls, karma is this game uses 2d6, similar to Powered by the Apocalypse, but it has a karma mechanic. So kind of definitely what goes around comes around. I would say so. Positive karma means you add a +1. A negative karma, it means you have a -1 for your modifier.
I rolled an 8, so +1 is 9.
Perfect. There's a little wobble to the front tentacle that holds the front bow as it contemplates letting go, contemplates tightening and crushing the bow and, creating a very easy way to swallow the three of you whole. But after contemplation, only one tentacle lets go. The back tentacle. What is your name?
Well, when I'm here, I go by Devotion, Shug.
Devotion.
Mhm.
Fascinating name for a fascinating creature such as you. Tell me, Devotion, what is it
Mm.
that you're actually devoted to?
Well, I know in my lives I was devoted to a thing called love. Obviously, that hasn't worked out for me too much. I keep coming back here, but trying to find my own devotion this time around, and hopefully I'm successful in finding it.
What does devotion mean to you?
Hmm.
What has it taught you on this journey?
Hmm. And this journey, it taught me about giving your all, but knowing when it is time to let others help you, to not push too much on yourself and let it consume you, but allow for the openness for others to be devoted to you in turn.
The squid contemplates for a minute. Their beak chatters just a little bit as they almost like a hum, a thought. And then it turns its gaze to Risk, who oh so insulted it earlier.
Flipping a coin
Risk,
up and down.
take a chance on me for a second here, Risk.
Now you're speaking my language.
How have you devoted yourself to your crew?
I think that the only way people, spirits, what have you, get things done is if there's a galvanizing force pushing everyone towards their goals. I am what is on the way to the reward for all of these people. I am the risk. And if I have to be the bad guy, the bad girl, in order to be so, I bore heavier crosses, I will just say.
And what cross do you have to bear as you travel through this expanse, my dear Risk?
A wasted life. A wasted life that I so badly want another shot at.
Give me a skill that you feel is relevant. I would also call it an 8.
Okay. I think of the general skills, it's probably charm again.
Yeah.
So just
I think so too.
2d6.
Mhm.
All right.
+1.
2d6 plus 1.
Yep.
I mean, that's only a 9.
Oh, only a 9. Oh. All right. I like the cut of your jib, Risk. Maybe you're not as much of a blowhard as you come off initially.
Well, jury's still out.
Just don't blow this chance. We need
I'll
to.
always at least take it.
I love that. There's a third on this ship. I need her reassurance that she will not cause harm.
Sarah's, honey, that's you.
Sorry. I got distracted for a moment. Friend was
Sarah's.
checking in about something.
Oh no, is your friend okay?
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
The Kraken is asking me for where I'm at.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's got into the message must give focus and then entirely forgot the existence of a stream for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, you know what? I've done that. I can't tell you how many times.
That
You're
was
so
me.
good. You're valid.
So they're asking me where I'm at.
Yeah, where's that third? I can feel the burden that she bears from out here. It's weighing heavy on my soul, or what remains of it.
She walks forward. Ceres walks forward and presents herself before the being. May I ask something before I respond?
Please.
Have you ever wanted a name?
Have I ever wanted a name? Why are you in search of one as well?
Yes. I am. I know I can think of a name that might be enjoyable for you if you do not mind perhaps a small bit of silliness and prestige to the name as well.
Is it calamari? Because if it is, I mean, we're gonna
regrettably,
have some...
I'm not that clever.
Okay. Please.
Would you accept the name Carrie? I used to know someone who he was very fond of stories of very big sea creatures. He used to always try and find short ways to say them because he couldn't always say the names fully. I think he used to have one that he called Nessie. Used to, for some reason, I don't think this was a creature, but he used to refer to someone as Muta. And but he had one of his favorites was the tale of Charybdis. It's a tale of a creature that's massive and tends to pull in large vessels. But I think he eventually gave up trying to say the name correctly, and he just went with Carrie. So I thought, you are quite impressive. Would you like a name like that?
Carrie. The beak chatters again, contemplating, considering, rolling the name over in its native tongue a couple times to get a taste. A literal taste of the name. Roll charm for me too, but at a 9.
I suppose saying my skill of haggling for a better price does not necessarily work on this occasion, or would it?
I would. Okay, you know what? You're willing to pay in a name? I would. Okay, yeah.
I wasn't gonna lead with that saying, "Hey, can we give you a name and we don't have to give you our money?" That feels a bit rude to just be like, "I don't want to give you anything. I'll give you a name, but you don't get my money."
You know
It feels
what?
a
I
bit
would buy
much.
name as payment. I would buy name as payment.
Okay, so I'll roll that and I'll see. So that's +1 for the karma and +2 for the skill use. So that's +3 to whatever this is.
Sick.
Really glad I got that because that's a 10.
Oh, okay, great.
I was like, it was a 7. I was like, but I got a +3, baby. I'm glad that worked.
Perfect. Oh, I love that. Okay. So Carrie unfurls the second tentacle from the front bow, and silently the tentacle falls below the ink. Carrie chatters in her large, imposing beak, almost trilling this time, excited. I feel. You know what? You've traded information. You've given me some vital information. Let me give you some. The key that's up ahead is frozen over. A deep freeze that has permeated. That has persisted, wrong word, sorry, through time. No amount of change of climate or change of anything has caused the heart of the ice on that island, on that key, to melt. But, and as she says this, a beacon of light starts shining, cutting through the darkness as if a lighthouse appeared out of nowhere. At the top of that, if you can make your way to the top of the mountain in that key, then perhaps you will find the answers that you are looking for in your various quests. There's quite a bit. Actually many restless souls that live on that island who have tried to reach the top of the peak to find their answers, to find their beacon. Selfishly, I wish you luck in pursuing your answers.
Thank you for being so kind to us and for accepting the name. I'm sure that Bree would be very happy to know that his naming habit stuck with someone. And she just cuts off because she realizes she said a piece of the name she's looking for. She knows that's like a syllable of the name, and she just like almost passes out right there on the ship from realizing that.
And thank you for not eating our friend Risk. She does speak out of turn sometimes, but she has good intentions.
She was very close to meeting a watery end.
I understand.
That'll be a new one for
And
me.
there's like a little bit of a
Oh.
as a threat.
Ah.
But I wish the three of you good luck. I believe in you more than I've believed in any other journeyers. Journeymen who have passed through these waters. And she dips up and then back down to disappear into the unknowable expanse below. And you have passage to the key ahead. Again, now that the light is shining, rotating as if beckoning, as if calling your names. You see that it's really not that far away. Maybe. Oh, Mimics and Misfits, thank you so much for the raid. We are so excited to have you. Thank you so much for coming in. Please tell us, what were you doing over on the Mimics and Misfits channel? But as we wait for that answer, you see it's probably, a handful of leagues away, maybe 1 or 2, not too far. But what will you all do to expedite your travel up to the shorts of the key.
So I think first of all, Risk, who has stayed in the seated position with the whole encounter with Carrie, breathes a sigh of relief. Devo, Saris, you two, your conflict resolution skills are something to behold. And then I think the camera pans out a little bit, and in the shadow of the side of the ship, a long black cable was coming out of Risk's sleeve and kind of like winding down, and it looked a little raised at the end, like it was ready to, like a wire, like ready to potentially puncture Carrie before things seemed fine, and then it recedes into her sleeve. She stands up. All right, if our dear friend, our dear Squid Mommy is to be believed, then this could potentially be the big one. Risk holds out 3 shards between her fingers. These shards of memory are supposed to change us, and I see no better time than to take a chance. And 2 of the 3 shards between Risk's fingers evaporate into little green particles, and Risk uses 2 shards to gain the miasma power, which is something that poisonous fen spirits can do, meaning that when I poison creatures, it doesn't go away if they're within range of me.
Excellent.
Just in case.
I love that.
Sorry, chat said Kalamami. I need a second.
Liz is
No.
on top of
no.
it.
No, just no.
You okay, we hear Kalamami and then you add that comment.
No. No.
Yeah, Ava and me are just like,
No.
no.
Chat, calm down. Chat, please, chat.
Jan's in chat making worse jokes than we've made the entire night. No, it's all good. No, I love that. And I also love that you like literally Pokemon evolved on this ship right after meeting the Calamami. You were like, all right, Risk Digivolve to Miasma Risk.
I mean, listen, I looked at the skills, I looked at the prerequisites for evolution. I'm like, I need 2, I have 3. This is a one shot. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I was like, I should give them bonuses because this is a one shot, not try to play hard mode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, so how's Miasma gonna have you like help you move quicker through the ink?
Oh, my thought is, okay, so we were found by Carrie. I think Risk is going to, sure, Risk will reveal her full shadow right now.
Ooh.
Risk takes the coin that has been crawling up in her sleeve, and up this close you can see that the 4 spider legs actually were black electrical cables, very small black electrical cables. And she says, all right, Pentacle, my friend. Bing! She flicks the coin into the air. It flicks in slow motion, 1, 2, and on the 3rd one, the full version of Risk's shadow appears. It is a humanoid figure that almost looks a little bit robotic. Its chest is like a big slot machine with 3 symbols. Arms are long robotic arms with 4 metal fingers. Its head is a giant coin, a pentacle coin like in tarot. Because if I have a stand, it might as well be a tarot reference. And then the coming off, instead of a lower body, is just a mess of about several dozen wires coming off of it. So it's like this big slot machine wraith that is above Risk. And Risk is going to, standing up, put one hand in her pocket. Let's test this new power. Come on, gold pentacle! And then green mist starts to seep out of it, covering hopefully the ship in a blanket of miasma. My friends are not poisoned, so it does not have any...
I was about to ask. I'm like, are you
It does not have any effect on you guys unless you are poisoned, or any other creatures unless they're poisoned.
Bless you.
Trying to create a fog for us to be harder to spot.
I was about to say we have
Ooh.
one character who's passed out right now. Don't poison them
No,
further.
no, 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 no. No, 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 no. This is stealth, baby. I'm a sneaky spirit.
I'm
Despite
having an
the
existential crisis over here. Let me have it in peace, not choking on a miasma.
And now we're not going to be found by any more squids, Saris.
I find it amazing that you're able to argue with Saris while she's passed out. Good on you. Good on y'all. I love this.
Listen, what is passing out to people who've been dead for a while, you know?
That's,
Quite true. Quite true.
all right.
You ever taken a nap? You ever slept for 8 hours but you didn't actually enjoy the rest versus a nap that was only like 2 hours but you actually rested? It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, when was the last time that happened to me where I actually felt rest? The struggle.
The call
Fucking
out is strong with this statement.
Also,
I
Amber pulled out cards. I also pulled out cards.
I pulled out my tarot deck because I have one particular deck that like I'm like, oh, actually this deck is like the epitome of this game. I was like,
Ooh.
ooh, when you brought out like the pentacle imagery, I was really drawn to the Queen of Pentacles on my Darling's tarot deck.
Yes.
And she has this like big black dress as she's like holding the coin. And
Mm,
that's just instantly what reminded me of it. Yeah.
freaking vibe.
Also, in case you didn't see in chat, I think it's really funny that we landed on Carrie as the name of this squid because Carrie is the project manager for Snowbite
Yes.
Studios and is in the chat. So, ooh,
Oh my God.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
you're
a
welcome
cameo?
for Calamami. Welcome to our community stream.
Sorry, Carrie. We didn't mean to call you Calamami.
I didn't call you that.
No,
That
no,
was
no, no.
all
Well, don't,
Julie.
don't put this in a we category. Don't
That
add.
was all
Don't at least don't add us to
Julie.
it.
Julie and several people in chat. That's all on them.
I'm just the
It's
messenger.
don't shoot the messenger, just
No,
smooch the
no, no.
messenger.
Yeah.
It's much more fun. Yeah, the messenger just wants to smooch the squid. Anyway,
Famously.
sorry, going back.
Yes. Yes. We're
Um
always saying this.
oh yeah, we got a shirt now. Anyway, so yeah, you just sorry, I ADHD'd myself. Please remind me
Okay.
what the fuck you did.
Okay, yeah, I gained the power to shoot out miasma, which does
Yes.
not hurt my friends because they're not poisoned, and I cover us in a blanket of mist. I fog cloud us, so we're going to be a little bit
Excellent.
harder to track down.
Beautiful. I love that. Um, does it have a time limit on how long this lasts?
This is mostly a combat ability, so
I
I
will
think
allow you to use it here.
okay, and I'm willing to put a time limit on it if like until we get to the island or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking about doing.
Cool. Especially if it's
Sorry, I
close.
just pulled up. Yeah, I put it up in the PDF because yeah, it's a short range, kind of thing. So I would say like the range
Fair.
is of like just outside the realm of the ship, but it's enough to obscure the ship. Yeah, what color do you think your miasma is? Do you think it's also black, or do you think it's like
Yeah, yeah. You know
flavorless?
what? I said green before, but I think it's a little bit more in character for a big slot machine type of stand persona thing to be a little bit like dripping oil that becomes mist.
Ooh, and it's got like that iridescence to it of like an oil
Absolutely.
puddle. Ooh, okay. Yes, I love that. Um, excellent. So yeah, I would say this, any other little mini encounters I was planning for the rest of your journey to the next key. I will roll with disadvantage. Okay, you know what? It'll give a -2 like karma to anything you might encounter. Um uh so does anyone else have anything that they would like to do to help guide the boat? Yes, Ava.
I think Devotion will find poor Sarah's just passed out on the floor. And
Yeah.
just help prop her up a little bit, make sure that she's comfortable and she's fully prepared for once we're like off the ship onto the boat. In the meantime, just making sure all of our gear is organized, and essentially it's going to be that passive prepared. So that I think that's going to be like a +1 to attack. I don't know how long it lasts for, but that essentially she's preparing everyone for that.
Wait,
Excellent.
is devotion just been Saris's like buddy? Is like whenever you have a friend who's drunk, who's had too much to drink one night,
Oh,
holding back
honey,
my
you're
hair.
so beautiful. It's
Oh
okay.
no! Oh no! I didn't want to be this friend. I didn't want to be this friend in the arrangement. Damn
In
it!
her iteration, she is very much auntie. So yeah, she is definitely
You know
that for
what?
people.
I haven't had an auntie care about me in a while, so it's all good. It's all good.
Oh,
Listen, last night
shit.
during Monster Hearts, we established that Angela is the mom friend at the party. So now that she's on the other foot.
Hello, I'm also fellow mom friend.
Yeah,
Fucking mood, same.
yeah. Everyone out of water at the party. Guess I'm gonna be the one to refill the pitcher. It's just how that works. But I think in terms of preparing, once Sarah just kind of snaps out of it, she's somewhere always between like kind of contemplative, moody, or dissociative. These are one of her three
Ooh.
moods of constant. I think she's mildly dissociative, but she does have a skill of normal skill of staying alert. So she's just keeping her eyes focused on anything just remotely getting near the ship or being dangerous.
Okay. Sorry, I was making the note that you remembered half the name Bree. Okay. All right. Yeah. Perfect. So you're preparing to defend the ship by like whatever means you have.
Yeah, the shadow is currently its body is taking on I'm gonna use a video game reference here because it's the best way to describe it. If anyone's ever played Ocarina of Time and knows the blue fire from the ice caves, that's basically what the body looks like it's covered in because I have an ability that does chill, but because it's a representation of how she died, it's like a blue flame.
Yes.
So it's like flames coming off of the being, but it's ice. So it's like a blue flame.
I think that's a K-pop song. Anyway.
Not of my choosing, people. Not of my choosing.
I know. So um yeah, I think that's a Le Seraphim song. Anyway, so you all, I would say, through the brilliant masking of the ship, it blends right into the actually, you know what? This is the way I'm going to phrase it. Because of because of the way that the miasma covers the ship, the shimmering brilliance of not even brilliance, the shimmering like glints that come off of the miasma in the moonlight, the way that the ink itself laps against the edge of the ship, and the way that the sky is just an endless void, so too does the ship blend in with all of this. It seamlessly integrates into the expanse of the horizon, and you are able to actually pass through the rest of your journey peacefully, contemplating the exchange you had with your new friend Carrie, maybe reveling almost in the little pinpricks of memories that have started to poke through. The name Bree, the commitment to, well, not even commitment, but the beginnings, the seeds that are being planted of commitment to oneself, and really the chords, the gold, the allure of gold from a slot machine coming, pulling through. But as the ship moves through, as it glides through the ink, eventually what looked like just a beacon circling on the top of a just in the expanse of blackness eventually grows larger and larger, and the sight of a large ice mountain sitting on just a lone island comes into view, and it is almost impossible to I mean, it's almost impossible to think that you didn't notice this mountain before, but I mean, this far out, this little amount of light, it's you know, it's understandable. But sorry, I'm trying to get a hold on my words here. As the ship comes in closer and closer and closer to the shore, what do you all do to stop it? To make sure it doesn't just crash into shore and leave you astray?
If we need to slow down the ship, Risk can send Pentacle down to try and hold it back, whatever good it'll do. I'm more of a sneaky spirit, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to take a dive off the ship if need be. Not into the water, not into the ink.
Right.
I think I don't know how weird this is gonna sound, but because her powers are based on like fire related things, I think Devotion is going to just like kind of try to concentrate on her shadow and try to raise some of that heat energy and try to maybe direct the ship to like slow down, like with the sails. Is that the term? I don't know boats. You would think I would know boats being in Maryland, but I don't know boats. Just
My
like,
dad's in the Navy and I barely know boats, so
oh,
it's fine.
oh. Air Force child, no connection.
Oof.
But like try to like adjust the way that the winds are heading, use that hot air to like try to steer the boat to like slow down in its pacing. Mm.
I would like the three of you to build a memory together for me really quickly.
Oh boy.
Tell me of a time early in your journey where you've faced a similar situation where a key has just appeared out of nowhere and you are about to lose sight of your boat, for lack of a better term. What is one memory that the three of you share that have brought you closer together as a crew?
I have a joking answer if no one can think of anything.
I have a very
Think it
serious,
up.
moody answer if you want that one. We are at odds, friend.
Julie, you need a
The
pick.
jokey answer and the moody answer can be the same memory. It's just different approaches to the same memory. Everyone remembers something differently.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just the concept of devotion thinking of all my years of travel. I have not once been with someone who knows how to steer a goddamn boat. I keep finding people who don't know how to steer a boat.
I've fallen for 30 different people. Not one of you knows how to handle boats.
Why can't I find a sailor?
Maybe date someone who lives on the beach.
I used to live underwater. I don't need to do that.
It's very, I am your wife. I am the greatest good you're ever gonna get.
Angela, what was your serious thought?
So this is a memory that we as a group have had together of a similar occasion coming up.
Yeah. And I think it might be funny to build off of this. Why have I not been with somebody with a ship?
I think if Ava is okay with this, I imagine there was one occasion where out of pure reflex, she feels like she's done this at some other point before, but she doesn't remember why. But she immediately, if it looked like the ship was about to crash or come really close to a key, she just went, grabbed Devotion, and just jumped off of the ship while the spirit literally like wrapped around them and held them and protected them from any potential harm. Like she doesn't know why she has this strong like reflex to just be like someone who obviously doesn't really know how to handle the situation or is in terror, who might be in like a less capable or maybe even younger situation, a younger person. She just goes, nope, we're out. I'm protecting you. This is how it goes. If I get hurt, it's fine.
And Risk just sees this. It's like, hell yeah, we're doing shit.
Yeah, and then Risk like fires two little cables Spider-Man out of her wrists and like pulls them back. Oh, you guys are amazing.
This is great.
Spider-Man, yeet.
So as you are like holding tight and like the ship rocks and bucks in this memory that you all have, almost like in, every action has its equal opposite reaction kind of thing. What, it really causes you to have to like reset what you were doing to try to keep it still. What do you do to like counterbalance?
To counterbalance the ship as it's moving.
Yeah.
Ooh. I think shadows have a 50-foot zone of attack, and we've
Yeah.
kind of established that Risk attacks with cables. I think potentially there is some counterbalancing that could be done just with Risk looking around the ship and like the various bits and bobs they've acquired during the course of the ink, and kind of just cables out and like Spider-Man's a bunch of them to like maybe one side of the ship to try and stop the rocking to counterbalance it.
Okay.
We're kind of
Alright.
getting iffy with mechanics here, but
Yeah, we
I'm
are.
not sure how we would roll
We're
these
hand waving the
skill
mechanics
checks.
just a little bit. I'm trying
Yeah.
to like listen
When
to
you
what you're
don't
saying
know
and
how a
also
boat, when you don't know how a boat works, you just have to bullshit everything.
Do we not have brakes on this boat?
I'm sorry, does the steering wheel not actually anyway.
Do we not have an
There's
anchor?
actually a steering wheel.
Could we make an anchor? Is that what we can do?
Yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you
I
want.
don't
This
know
is
what's
a
on the
tabletop
boat.
role-playing game.
I don't know what's
This is your imagination is truly the limit.
Okay. Rocks, lots of rocks. There's a lot of rocks boxes. Risk ties like a bunch of cables around them, cuts the cables to like make a very makeshift anchor, ties a chain to them. Oh my god, can somebody who's stronger help me throw this overboard to make
Yeah, I
anchor?
gotcha.
You are the best.
I'm gonna say there's also at this time in your journey, very early on, there's a big gruff guy, and I'm gonna call him Bryce.
Bryce.
There you are, Bryce.
Stop sleeping. Why didn't Carrie talk to you?
No. Early on,
Oh, God.
early in this memory. In this
Just
memory.
on
In the
ship.
memory, not in the ship. Bryce didn't like take a 5 while we were out dealing with potentially getting eaten
Bryce
by
would
a
take
sea
a
mommy.
5.
No, this is in the memory still. We're still building this memory of the crew. Because this is how I'm getting us to the next act, and before we go to the break, that this is GMery. Bryce is, has been trying to like use both his like sheer power of will and weight, because where there's a will there's a weight, but he to try to do what he can to counterbalance, but then he sees Risk like struggling with this rock as a makeshift anchor, and he's like, hold on little friend, I got you here. And he like boom sprints to the other side to help you with this anchor. But I think as he is going to, as he like grabs the anchor and like tucks it under his arm like a little football, like he's gonna put it under his arm like a football so he can hup it over the edge, and score that field goal. Did I use that term right? I don't know. The ink suddenly rocks the boat in the opposite direction, and it catches him off guard, catches him off balance. Let me actually have everyone, hold on one second. I would like everyone to make a roll for me. Hold on. Ugh. Oh, I would like everyone to make a excuse me, a physical skill roll here for me. Oh my god, where did it go? I'm having a time.
2d6 plus or minus 1d6 karma.
Yeah, everyone, I would love to make everyone to make some kind of like physical skill roll to like, to go against all things nautical, right? Um and I would love to see you beat like an 8. Positive karma.
Okay, so that's 2d6 plus 1.
Yeah.
Thank God, because I rolled exactly 8.
10.
Oh, perfect. 10.
I'm
Okay.
not getting launched off of the side of the ship.
12.
12. Okay. With such great rolls. Well, here, I'm just gonna.
Bryce lives.
Hashtag Bryce lives. Or not.
That's a face
Hashtag-
Amber's making.
hashtag
I
Bryce
don't know
lives!
how I feel about it.
Everyone clap. Help him live. Like a fairy.
Clap if you want him to live. Clap
I
if
do
you want
believe
the
in Bryce.
baby boy.
I do. I do. I do believe in Bryce. I do.
Well, he rolled a 5.
Oh no. R.I.P.
Pretty
Tell
close.
me with your rolls how you steady yourself against the boat somehow to find that, like, how you steady yourselves with the boat when it bucks like this in this memory.
I think, like with a lot of things in Risk's life, when it goes well, it's luck. And Risk is literally about to fall off before the boat suddenly bucks the other way and they slip off of like a puddle. And like they absolutely should have fallen off if not for just slipping, and they like tumble across the deck.
I get that.
I think for devotion, there was a brief moment of the water being such a soothing presence for her just due to her lives that she feels the need to just keep leaning into it, but then her shadow like reaches out from wherever and just like yanks her back. You're like, you're not joining them now.
I'll come find you later. You'll be one of us eventually, devotion. We need you
That's it. That's the spicy water.
here. And Saris with a 10. Please tell me how you anchor yourself.
I think the shadow envelops her while she's like looking around. It forms like a dome of shadow around her that entirely turns into ice, and then it just almost digs into the ship and just cements her down to make sure that she's not moving anywhere. She gets, I think, probably bounced around dome itself, because I don't think the shadow is very instinctual. It doesn't really have a lot of like thought going behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It just knows protect is its
Right.
guiding motive for this particular
Right.
variation of shadow. So I think it just anchors her down literally with ice into the ship, and she just manages not to get launched off. She just barely made it though with the 8 on that roll. So I imagine it's a lot of her getting like pinballed around this dome.
Right. So, all right. Bryce, so the 3 of you find your ways to keep your feet on the ground, to keep yourself locked down and sunken wherever you are, to make sure that you do not find your end in the ink. Tabletop Obscura, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for coming in. You came at the right time because I'm about to kill a guy. So the way going back to Risk's thought of creating an anchor out of this rock and throwing it overboard, as Bryce, this big beefy dude that I made up 30 seconds ago, is going to help you out and heave this rock overboard, that's when the ship rocks one more. And I mean, he is himself heaved overboard. He's still clutching the rock, and as it sinks further and further, deeper and deeper into the ink, holding the ship in place, so too does Bryce sink further and further, deeper and deeper down into the ink, and lost to your party. The memory of him almost now a whisper on the edges of your minds as we go back to present time. You face similar waters as you are pulling in to dock, but I think with your... Sorry, my husband just did a little dance right off screen, and what? The edges of the memories of him help you to pull this ship to shore and land safely. And I think that's where we are going to be taking our break. So we're going to be back in about 10 to 15 minutes time, which gives us the time to run a couple ad breaks. But while you're on break, be sure to enter our giveaway with exclamation point. Oh my God, what is that? Exclamation point, fucking a thing.
Ink away sub.
Ink away sub. Use exclamation point ink away or ink away sub in chat for a free copy of Ink once it is released from Snowbite Studio. And go ahead, take your meds, go take a glass of water or refill your drink. Take care of yourself, do some self-care, pet your cat, hug your loved one. But we'll be back in 15 minutes all the same. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are so excited to have you here. Tonight we are playing Ink, which is the latest game from Snowbright Studios, who brought you Tea Time Adventures. And before we left, before we left, our seafarers here have crossed through the Ink, hopefully on the last leg of their journey through limbo, purgatory, the afterlife, whatever have you, as they reach the shores of a ice island, for lack of a better word. And the shores of this ice island, I mean, of instead of sand, as you would think, as you disembark onto the actual ground, it's fine powder, almost crystal. It could be ice, it could be gems, it could be what have you. But I mean, as your feet cross from, whatever you used to disembark from the boat onto the shore, you hear just a sound that you don't often hear here in the expanse of the ink, the crunch of something underfoot. But really what lays before you, this beach made of powder snow, excuse me, just of crystals glimmering in the what remains of the sliver moon above. You see a line of headstones, almost as acting as if they're dune protectors. You know, when you go to the beach and you see, like, wrapping around, certain dunes that raise up to protect the dunes and from natural erosion. You see those, it's but here, instead of planks and twine and barricades, it's headstones of the adventurers who have come to these shores in the past and found an untimely demise. But it leads towards the path that it leads towards the trail that takes you all to at least the entrance of, sorry, wow, I lost all of my words. I'm so sorry. It takes you to the head of the trail that leads you to the peak of the ice mountain here. But what do you all do as you go on shore and finally feel ground beneath your feet for the first time in a while?
I think Risk is walking with her pentacle spirit shadow hovering behind her as a persona does, and as she kind of just like walks, it slowly flips back into a coin that lands in her hand, and she looks at the headstones and then to her friends and says, I don't know about you all, but I didn't come all this way to become set decoration. So I think let's fight hard, let's do our best, and let's not lose track of why we're here.
Of course. Devotion will go to the headstones and just softly and with bowed head. I don't know if I traveled with any of y'all, but friends of old, keep us in your thoughts, and may the wisdom of your journey guide us to what we seek. Oh, and if anyone feels cold, just let me know. Whole fire thing, I'll hold your hand.
Give me a mental skill check, Devotion, as you run your hands on these headstones and observe the names on them.
Just a 2d6 plus 1. 10 plus 1, 11.
Okay. Yeah, very easily. You skim the names, almost doing what you can to pay your respects and give a little bit of your time and self to paying back to the memory of the names that you aren't sure of here, until you land on one particular name on one of these headstones. Ida.
I was wondering if the cold felt familiar. I suppose it does. We'll do better next time. This go around, girl. You can be sure of it.
What does the name Ida mean to you?
Ida was the life where the rage came through. It's been with her for half the lives that she's known, and it's the one that she always felt she had to apologize for. It's the one where she wants to redeem the name because in the betrayals that Ida faced, she did lash out a lot. So going through life with that name and doing good simply means just paying back the deeds that were that hung around her.
And I think you should take solace then in knowing that Ida made it to this island in particular, that a ghost of your former self has walked the same shores, has traveled the same path, and you have both landed here. Of all of the seemingly random and endless permutations and combinations of different keys and passages and pathways that you could have taken, fate has led you here twice now.
Such a silly thing known as fate. I know this is going to be our chance. I promise you that.
Risk and Saris. You see Devotion stopping in her tracks in front of one particular headstone in this array of headstones that protect the dunes, the snow dunes, from decay and destruction from the natural elements. But what do you do as you see her in this moment of reverence?
Just need a second.
Yeah.
Because I know exactly what Sarah says and sees. I think there's a moment where she gives some space between her and Devotion, but she goes up and uh, makes enough noise so that Devotion can notice she's there, and the shadow takes a form of someone kind of a similar build to her, but definitely if the form had features, would look is definitely younger than her. And I think she starts saying something in a voice that doesn't sound as like distant, echoey, or anything of that sort. I think that's a cadence that she's gained while she's been in this world of the ink. I think Devotion just hears her say very directly, "Listen, I know she's gone, and there's nothing we can do to bring her back now. But all that she meant to you, it's still with you, and it'll always be with you.
Mm.
And I know that you're strong enough to deal with all of this." And she has no idea why this feels like she's having deja vu, why she feels like she said this to someone before.
I appreciate that, Shug. I sometimes feel a bit of an annoyance with my dear shadow here. Isn't that right, Shug? But at the end of it all, it is still her, albeit a bit more primal, but it is still her. And knowing I was able to follow in her footsteps and maybe, no, definitely do what she was not able to do, I think she'll be mighty proud of that. And you just kind of hear like a rumble, like a rolling storm type of rumbling, just kind of hovering around devotion, and you see like the brief moments of flickering blackish flames in acknowledgement.
And I think while this is happening, Risk has her hands in her pockets and she's not looking. She's averting looking at any of the headstones. And I think there's the briefest memory of when she first arrived in the ink, of seeing this slot machine like robot monster dripping with oil, this manifestation, this embodiment of what got her here, everything she was ashamed of. And she's just like, I do not want to think about what came before right now. And she's just keeping an eye on the surroundings to protect the group in case it's needed.
Give me 1 second here. I just want to take a moment to check on someone really quick. Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. I would say you are very pointedly, like you said, not looking at these headstones. You are almost daring yourself not to, as if it's your own little game that you're playing with yourself. But what if? What are the chances? What's on the other side of that coin? You have a 50-50 chance.
I
What
think
would it
maybe
hurt if you looked?
for the briefest moment, her eyes flick up. And what does she see?
At the very end of the row of headstones, there's probably a line of like 50 of them. In loving memory, in service to, all of that. But finally, there's just one. Last one. Very minimally marked, as if as if probably the least expensive and most minimal way that you could pay homage to somebody's memory here. Almost like a debtor's headstone, but it just says simply the name of your relative, their dates, but no acknowledgement of what happens in the hyphen between the dates.
All right. When nobody's looking, I drop 10 of my 20 coins near the headstone.
Oh.
And then I just say, come on, we need to get going.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, that's very true. Ain't gonna get any colder.
Saris,
Yeah.
what do you do?
I think there's a moment where he's realizing how much the cane is needed in that moment, because a lot of the emotions she's feeling are hurting. It's a lot of pain for her to try and even move away from the spot because of what it brings back for her. But I think for some reason the shadow turns into like almost the size of a kid. And I think she looks at it and she just hears a voice just say something like it's a memory from way back, like way, way back, that she uncovered like ages ago, and she had no understanding of who this could even remotely be saying this to her, but something like, hey, we're almost to the top of the hill. We'll be there soon. And just this very happy, this rare happy memory that's stuck it within all the stuff she's trying to hold on to keep going. And it's, I think, enough to keep her going. It's it's overwhelming. It, I think, starts breaking her a bit, but she hears that voice say that. And I think she hears risks. She feels risks resolve, and the kind of grounded presence that Diva brings, and she gets up, she keeps going. The hand grips onto the cane, trying to manage it on all of this like powdery, almost snow kind of effect that you've described. She keeps going.
I think the voice does appear to you one more quick time. Come on, sissy. We have to go. They're waiting on us. We have to go. Will you meet me up there?
I'll be right there, Gabri. I'll be right there, Gabri. She remembers like another piece, and it's like the name's almost there. She has two syllables. She has the first two syllables, and she's like, I have to find it. It's almost there.
You're so close. I can't wait to see you again. Am I gonna see you again?
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna see me.
I miss you. And so the trail leads long and winding ahead of you. You all, I would say, actually risks, particularly for you, since you did actually give up a big part of yourself. You hear the crashing of the inky waves crest onto the shore, as if, I mean, it's normal, but there's something you hear, like the like, damn, hold on. I'm trying to do some Foley work here. You hear glass on glass tinkle as a bottled elixir rolls on shore. If you want to take it, but it rolls ashore like as if just, a message in a bottle.
I see it, then I'll take it.
Excellent. It is an elixir of it's an elixir of temporary elemental power. You cause double the amount of burn and chill tags as you normally would for the next 3 encounters.
All right.
You hear this voice as it rolls up. Don't let that passion that burns within you go out. Shine bright like the gold coin, like the pentacle you know you are. And take a chance on yourself for once.
All right. Risk takes a deep inhale and says, well, who am I to refuse a gift? Wow, is that anything other than my emotions over there? Hey, gang, look, check this out. I have a potion that increases your propensity for fire and ice, which I know is your scene. So I kind of dangle it to everybody. Gift from the Nether. If anyone wants it.
Wow. If you really don't want it, I don't mind taking it. It maybe in exchange, I do have an elixir of protection against the cold. I don't remember all those fangled names, but it protects against cold. And I think this would be appropriate here
I
if you
like
want
a
to
good
trade.
trade. I like a good trade. Let's do it.
Yeah, here you go.
Risk like flips the bottle up so that they're holding it by the spout and then holds it as if they're like giving the wine in a fancy way before giving it to devotion.
Officially, the name is Frostproof, Elixir of Frostproof.
Roger that.
Was just about to tell you if you wanted the name. I did memorize some of the names.
I just didn't feel like picking the book up at the time.
You know what? This is why you make me do it. I do the reference page. I do this work. I do this research. I put it up there for
You're
you.
making me cry. I don't want to lean on you right now.
Do it. Everyone's been doing it my whole life.
I'm sorry that I'm making you cry. Holy shit. I'm
No,
not trying
it's
to.
fine. Look,
It's acting tears.
look. It's a game about navigating limbo and purgatory. Tears are part
We
of the
signed up
course.
for this.
We signed
Well,
up for this.
Here, let me shift gears for just a second. There is a K-pop song that just came out called Limbo by Nature, and literally part of the choreography is them doing the limbo on stage, and it's really goofy, but it's really sweet.
So, which of us is doing the limbo tonight?
Limbo,
Not
limbo,
me.
limbo, limbo, limbo. Okay, anyway, sorry.
The whiplash I just felt between how I was 10 seconds ago between
Yes!
hurts so much.
Welcome to a game I'm running, bitch. Damn, let's fucking go. Anyway, so I noticed we were all like really, really sad, so I just wanted to make sure that we like did a check. Are we good? Are we fine? Are we safe to continue going?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Make
I know
us
Liz is in
sadder.
chat saying
Make
we're
us
here because we want our
sadder.
feelings hurt.
Make us sadder.
Oh, I have something planned.
I'm
Don't you
already
worry, your
ready
pretty
to
little heads.
dramatically cry on camera. It's okay.
I'm already drinking. Back to the game. I'm already drinking.
I'm drinking
potion,
too.
by the
I've been
way.
drinking all night.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right. So what? Oh, we're further in Taylor Swift than I thought we were. Okay.
Dang, you're
Let's
Taylor
turn on
Swift.
the Fuck Jake Gyllenhaal album now. Okay, so where she actually fucks Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay, so all right. So you've been granted a little you've been you've been granted a little gift for your donation, and given little glimpses into your past and potentially the things that have held you back. But there's still one long winding path that lies ahead, but it's clear where you must go. There's no hidden tricks, no traps, no anything. It's deceptively easy. But do you take this path?
There's always a catch. I'm telling you this as a seasoned gambler. There's always a catch.
I mean, that's just life.
Saris
Saris?
hasn't stopped walking. Saris is just going forward.
All right, eyes up, my friend. And then Risk is just kind of anxiously flicking her coin shadow between her hands as she kind of cautiously like walks rubbernecking to either side every few seconds, keeping an eye out.
What's Devotion doing as you start embarking on this trail?
I think she'll probably linger behind Um, just making sure the other two are okay. She's been through this particular path before, it seems. So she's just keeping sights out for what's familiar.
What seems familiar to you actually ends at the trailhead. You recognize the shore itself. You recognize this area of the beach, and that this was a place where you have rested previously, but maybe resting here is a bad idea.
Hmm. No stopping here. Not safe. We need to keep going. How's everyone feeling?
No way but forward.
Sarah's honey?
The end's in sight, one way or another.
All right. If anyone needs to rest, we can rest. Just this area not safe.
We advance.
Oh, hold on. I'm trying to find. Oh no, what happened to the thing? I can't find my notes.
Quick, cause a distraction.
Everyone vamp to give Amber time. Everyone vamp to
So I
give Amber
mean,
time.
what's the deal with beds? You sleep on them, and you kiss people.
What? What?
I risk my life every day because I like to eat pretzels almost whole while I'm sleeping.
While you're sleeping?
Oh no! Wait, hold on. Wait, Ava, we need to walk this back. Huh?
Here's a
You
confession.
eat pretzels in your wait, hold on. Do you sleep, eat pretzels? I'm very
So
confused.
my comfort food is pretzels, and I
Yes.
don't like chew them thoroughly. I tend to just like snap them in bits and then I just swallow them. And I did pick up the practice when I was very young of eating in my bed. So as I slept, I just
As you
developed a habit.
slept? How?
Ah,
Ah.
I've lived for 30 years. Nothing bad's happened. There's your distraction.
That's a real life superpower. I've never heard anything like that, genuinely.
Speaking
Are we
of a
just
warm place to get snacks. Oh yeah, Angela, if you're going to reveal a deep dark secret, please
No, I
go
don't have a deep
ahead.
dark secret. I'm just double jointed on my pinky. It makes it easier to actually do like fretting for guitar playing. And I discovered this by pure accident by watching a guitarist that I admired. Like I was watching a music video of him, and then he just did this weird thing where he was like, "Oh yeah, he used his pinky to like bar three strings at once," and I was like, "Oh, I could do that. That's way easier than doing three fingers to try and do it, or two fingers." And then a
Julie,
bunch of my friends
secret.
were like, "What? You're a freak! Like, what is this? What is this weird thing you can do?"
We're sharing secrets, Julie. It's your turn.
Every single day of my life since I have been born, I've I've drank water.
Well, that's why your skin is
Damn.
glowing.
The
As
darkest
long as I
secret
can
of them
remember.
all.
I know, I'm really committed. Hydration check.
So Amber, did you find what you're looking for?
Hydrate or die straight.
The water is making us gay?
The water is making us gay.
Oh no. Just like the frogs.
We're the frogs
Yeah,
that are
well,
being turned gay.
I was prepared to be sad, now die of laughter. Don't do that.
How are you going to die in this game? Who knows?
Comedy and horror go
Play it to
hand in
find out. But going back to speaking of a warm place where you can get snacks, you actually do come hold on. All right. Where there it is. You start up this, you start heading towards the trailhead, and hiding, you get a couple of like meters into it when actually almost obscured by like the tall, icy, snowy dunes, was actually nestled in a nestled in that is actually a small little stand, like a coffee stand that you can find on the side of the road. It's really just like, the little shelf. It's opened up. There's a little cute little awning. And it in like a hand painted script, it says the perpetual grind on it. And a little spirit barista behind the counter, just really excited and happy to see someone here make it this far for the first time in a while. Oh my god. Hi. Oh, hi. Oh, hello. Hi. Peep. Oh, spirits. Hi. Hi. Oh. Hey. Oh, I'm really excited to see you. Sorry, I haven't seen someone in so long. I've just been drinking all coffee myself, and there's just so much going on. Hey, this is going on.
Hold
Hey,
on.
where can I get you?
Hold a second. You said you've been drinking coffee by yourself?
You get all the you get the beans and you get the stuff to make the elixirs and you get this, and like no one gets it. So I mean, like you gotta drink it all or else it's gonna go bad, right? So it's just it's just like that. Yeah,
Things go bad here?
coffee
Huh.
goes bad. Coffee goes real bad. Coffee goes real bad. It goes real bad.
Do you have tea by any chance? I'm a tea
Oh,
drinker.
I mean, spirited spits. We don't really have. I don't really serve a lot of tea, perhaps. But I got these elixirs. I got coffee. I got tea. Wait, no, I don't got tea. I just told you I don't got tea. But I got coffee and but can I get you a coffee? Can I get you an elixir? I can't get you a tea.
That let me
Who are you?
browse your travelers looking to pass through. I will browse your elixirs. My friends can browse other things.
I was always a sugary energy drink type of person, so I think I'll pass. Oh, don't. Why are you laughing at that?
You're my type of customer. You're my type of customer. Sugar gets you all hyped up and wired, and it's just so boring out here with no one ever really making it past the beaches. Hey, what can I get you? What do you want? What are you looking at? What are you looking for?
What the fuck did you just say? Something about not getting past the beaches?
Oh yeah. People crash on the beach all the time.
Yeah, well, we've learned that lesson thanks to a good friend of ours. So we were good this time.
Oh, shout out to your friend.
Yeah, yeah, he was cool, strong guy. We
R.I.P.
believed in him all the
Bryce.
way.
Riz doesn't even remember his name. It's just like, yeah, that guy we knew. It was really
That
important to
fucking
us.
guy.
That fucking guy.
Bruce, it's Bryce.
It's
Yeah.
Bryce Sugar.
But Bryce was right, and he got us here.
So many
So
quotable moments.
Game is gonna be sad and clips. That's the definition of this game. It's just sad and clips or sad clips.
I remember a story from the Mortal Realm where I always try to keep at least one coin on me just to give to the fella waiting in the boat. So I think I'm good, but I respect your hustle, my friend. If you have a name, feel free to share it.
Oh yeah. My name's Spirited Spits. I'm real spirited, and I spit fire.
Wait, you keep slipping in concerning information along with the normal conversations.
I mean, when you're stuck with only your thoughts for so long, and you have nobody else to really like to filter your thoughts through, and it's just yourself for so long, like it just you don't know what's concerning, what's not, and what's real and what's not.
Do you want to come with us?
No.
Dang.
I think while all this is happening, Saris just like passes over 20 coins that she has on her. She gets an elixir of frostproof. She also gets one more elixir of temporary shielding.
Actually,
She just like, oh, yes.
you want to know a fun thing that my elixirs give here?
Yes.
If you drink these elixirs, not only do you get like super hyped up like forever, all the time, always, but also you can create fire with them. You can snap your fingers and a trail of fire will follow you wherever you go.
Does it expand on those who can already control combustible fire
Ooh,
or combustible things?
well,
I mean, I'll take it otherwise. That's not within my realm. It might be useful for us given what Carrie warned us about too, with the
Mhm.
unmeltable ice.
it might just help you out with that.
You seem to know a lot about what we're about to deal with.
I don't know. I'm just here, and I've had a lot of time to think about what could lie ahead. I've never really. They told when when I took this job, I kind of like. Well, I gave myself the job, but when I took
I was
this
gonna
job,
say,
I
who's
really
employing you?
yeah, yeah. I told myself I wasn't really gonna go in the mountain, but I just thought this would be a nice place to hide out and like hang out and to get. But sorry,
How much for the Bernie stuff?
I believe your friend ever paid me 20 coins.
Yeah. For the two
Yeah, I'll take any
elixirs.
income I can get.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think also. Okay, this is a me as a player thing I have to ask. Did we just get like Deadpool as a barista just dropped into this game? Because I'm getting big Deadpool Merc with a mouth kind of energy coming off of this person.
His name is Spirited Spits, and that he's invigorated all the time, and that's
The,
just the characterization I'm going for.
the alarming things being slipped in feel like Deadpool breaking the fourth wall just to let us know. Oh, by the way, you're all fucked, but it's gonna be great. Is you want something to drink? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
This honestly just makes me think of the architect majors in my undergrad, just being architect majors in undergrad, not knowing what to do with life, but just staying for multiple days.
I learned something new about architect majors today.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
They stress
engineering
me out
majors.
watching them.
All right, well, Spitz, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
Take care of yourself.
yeah,
Find a
yeah.
hobby.
What if the coffee it is the hobby?
No, that's the problem. That seems to be the problem.
So
Be
then
more
you tell
specific
them,
then. Find a
yeah,
different
There's
hobby.
there's a lot of
find
great
another
one-player
hobby.
TTRPGs that you can draw up that you can get theoretically infinite value out of.
Have you heard of this group called Girls Run These Worlds? They are such a delightful folk. Watch some of their streams.
Yeah, we
on
don't really
Twitch,
get internet
please.
we don't really get internet reception out here in
No,
the ink.
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
know.
Devotion, I think you're remembering it wrong. It's girls run these voids. Or is the version
You're
over here that
so
you
gosh
find.
dang
Girls ink
right.
these worlds.
Yeah, you're so right.
I got a memory. If you enter
Shirt,
exclamation
shirt,
point ink away in
shirt.
chat,
Somebody,
you might get-
somebody, shirt, new idea, new business. Somebody mark it down.
Write it down,
Girls
write it
ink
down.
these worlds.
Girls run these voids or girls ink these worlds.
Yeah.
Either one of them I'll work with.
I think the ink one is for the writing.
I am not buying another domain.
So fair. All right, bye, Spitz. Take it easy.
All right, bye. I hope you live.
I
Thanks.
hope so too.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. You leave Spitz, and he's just like, oh yeah, coin, hell yeah, coin. I love coin. Oh, the other one had a lot of coins. A lot of coins going on out there.
It
What's going on
reminds
with that
me
one?
of someone that I don't want to think about. Dark reflection of myself, and I'm moving on.
Wasn't that Little Mix? Anyway, so my brain is just pop brain rot. I'm sorry. Yeah, you all head up the path, and it doesn't take too long actually to reach the ice caves that make up the majority of this mountain. And the ice caves are nothing. God, okay, listen, this is the reference that I had in my mind, and it's from a children's comedy movie, so bear with me. So, in Ice Age, remember that like scene where they go through the caves of ice and they like they have all the reflections in the ice.
Yes.
All of the things they saw in there were terrifying. Even as a kid, I looked at that. I was like, "Why is there a straight up T-Rex just in the ice?" Oh no!
What you see as you enter these ice caves, I mean, it is beautiful. I mean, like floor to ceiling, the floor is nothing but like immaculately polished ice with just enough grit for you to walk on and find, friction to be able to move without slipping and sliding everywhere. But the walls are expansive, like way beyond cathedral height of just glimmering, shining ice, feet, I mean, yards thick, extremely thick, arching over, and the littlest sound you can hear, like bits of like the ice like groaning and echoing through as it like shifts under the weight of everything. And like the weird like sometimes that you get in like ice, big icy tunnels. How do you proceed in here? I mean, there is only like one path, but how do you proceed? Do you just barge on through or with caution?
I'm always a caution person.
Likewise. I once again just, it seems like there's no hiding in this place. Flick the coin. Gold pentacle comes out, hovers behind me, and I walk. Usually I walk with my hands in my pockets. I'm very aware that if you take a tumble with your hands in your pockets, you could hurt yourself. So for once, I'm just kind of like walking very, very carefully, hands out of pockets, ready to duck and roll if needed.
Give me a telling, like a mental skill check, but specifically with like the flavor of telling old stories and songs. I want to see how severely I'm gonna like wreck you really quick.
Of telling old stories and songs.
Mm-hmm.
I roll 2d6 for this?
Yeah.
Okay. If it's 2d6 plus 1, that's a 7.
Okay. You look as you walk through these tunnels of ice, leading you on this path to God knows where. Ideally, the peak of the mountain. The ice here is so thick that you think it could like project almost or magnify something buried deep inside. The glimmer of gold and red and green and shining silver actually catches your eye as you are keeping your head on a swivel, walking side to side, and there is embedded deep in the ice the image of you before you died, sitting before a slot machine. And it's almost like the echoing of the ice groaning and yawning throughout the tunnels becomes the dull roar of voices inside the casino where you spent so many years trying to gain enough money to pay back your debts. Where is this? And what is happening in this moment?
I think this moment is probably one of the last times at the slots. This was after scheme to get rich failed. Crypto definitely didn't work, let me tell you. And I think risk is this is the first time that Risk is contemplating doing something really bad for money and realizes that she's about to go home, and she, when home, will eventually swipe some of her mom's meds to sell
Mm.
because she just doesn't see any other way out. So I think this is Risk's last night at the slots before going home. Before that night where she was killed. And I think as she sees herself sitting at the slot machine, she also thinks back to the very first time she saw a casino, which was her parents' trip to Vegas, where she was a little girl and the parents were yelling at one another. So Risk was able to get close. Risk back when she was Regan. Just a child distracted by the lights and the colors, even at a young age. Her parents too busy yelling at each other to keep her away from just staring at them for minutes and minutes and minutes. And then she just zoops back.
I'm going to say, just for the purposes of what I'm attempting to set up, you're
Please.
lost. You're trapped in your thoughts for just a minute.
Okay, please do.
But thank you for sharing that. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay, great. I'm just checking in. As the second in the lineup, Sarah's, tell me how you traverse your way through these caves.
I think it's with a lot of shakiness. I think the pain is flaring up a bit more with all the emotion she's had, and also it's just kind of hard to navigate. Like, she's leaning on her cane really heavily. And I think there's a feeling of desperation to how she's moving through the space. The sense of, like, you almost have this name, you almost remember. You're gonna see her, whoever this person is. You're gonna see her soon.
Instead of the groaning and aching and dull roar of the ice kind of shifting all around in this tunnel, what you hear instead, you're so close. Look at me. I'm so close. You can almost touch me. Look at me. I'm in the ice. And before you is actually the image of your car with your sister buckled up in the back seat.
Hey, hun, where? I'm just need to chat to some folks in the gallery real quick. I think I've got us a really good opportunity soon. I promise we'll be fine. Okay. I really wish they didn't make me have to use like a pen name for this place. I still feel weird getting called Saris all the time. It's so strange, but it's, I guess, the really nice writers and like painters and such use this all the time. I guess this will work.
Am I supposed to call you Saris from now on? What can I
No,
call
no,
you?
no, 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 no. You can still call me Evie or Evelyn. I promise. This doesn't change who I am. I promise.
Are you sure? I don't want to lose my big sissy Evie.
Hey, 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 hey. No, 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 no. You'll be fine. Okay, I promise. And I think probably everything around her, unless you have more details to add, Amber. I think
No, go
is
ahead.
adding
This
like
is your
she's reaching out like towards the ice. She's
yeah.
not present here in the right now. She's just reaching out like, no, no,
Mhm.
no, no. Hey, I promise it's gonna be fine. Okay. And it's just like it flashes real quick through that, and it's like a few minutes later, and she's like, "Hey, I have really good news. I think we're gonna
Yeah.
have a showing soon. I'm gonna take us out to get something really nice. Okay? We
Oh my God, we're gonna
they
get
actually
ice
gave
cream.
us yeah. I know it's still a little chilly for ice cream, but come on, let's go celebrate. Okay? Just
Yeah.
stay warm. Okay?" And she's like making sure like sweater and like little like beanie on head that covers like the ears and everything. It's like, hey, you're gonna be okay. I
This
promise.
is a
No matter what
child wrapped
happens,
up in like scarves and shit.
just
That's
the like the like the it's the ancient meme of like the dude in like 44 shirts at once. It's like
yeah.
that kind of effect of just like
Yeah.
you're gonna be fine, okay?
I know I'm always safe when I'm with you.
Don't worry, okay? Don't worry. Your big sis Evie's gonna be here for you, okay? No matter what.
No matter what. And if it's safe for you, do you need to cut off here? You don't have to reveal.
If there's more push you want to do, uh,
Okay.
go for it.
No, I don't think we need to go into like details on how everyone died. I like the way that Julie actually failed just a moment ago. So I think I'm going to leave it that.
Yeah.
Also just for my safety too.
Yes, of course.
Um but yeah, I think that the image of your final moments of your sister believing in you. What's her full name? Gabrielle? Gabriella?
Gabriella. It's she our mom named her for a more feminine version of the angel Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the Michael Gabriel Association from earlier.
And Gabrielle is still watching over you. And she has you frozen in place in this wide, echoing room of these ice caves. But finally, the camera pans back to Devotion. And I promise we're getting to an encounter after this. Finally, the camera pans back to Devotion, who just not confronted, but realized, had the revelation that a past life of hers made it to this island, but met a watery demise, an inky demise, rather, here on the shores. You're holding up, I mean, not holding up, but you're taking up the rear of this pack as you're wandering through. When you hear your own voice actually echoing through these tunnels, but it's not a voice that belongs to you currently, but a voice that belonged to you not too long ago. But it feels like home all the same. And in the walls of ice, you see Ida herself, that embodiment of rage, that embodiment of love slowly killing somebody until they're a pulp. What do we see of Ida here?
I think we see someone tired. She's been through a couple of iterations so far, and each iteration just brings more and more pain. There was the love she gave up for the happiness of others, the love that betrayed her, and now this iteration that brought her here was just a love that consumed her in the worst way. So you see someone determined, searching for something, to break this continuous cycle of always being burned at the end. But just as she's about to reach it, something just pulls her back, and the continuous cycle of being burned continues up to where we are now.
I think Ida talks back to you specifically as you are now. I recognize myself in you, but have you not grown at all?
The last couple lives have been better. We found love and found family. So I think that helped. But this last time, you can't change fate sometimes, and he cared more about fixing his problems himself than letting others help him. So I'm here.
But what about us? What about all the plans we had? What about all the plans that I thought I was going to achieve?
You know, this iteration of us in this inkiness, it's been a long one. But this go around, I think I've heard her voice, our true nature, the one that is love for yourself. And I think this go around, your flame's gonna be put to rest. It's been hanging around protecting me, and I love you for it. And she just, in her hand, she kind of pets an inky, warm water figure that's next to her. But I think this time will be good. I feel it. I'm just sorry that it took so long.
It doesn't matter how long the journey took, as long as we got to the end of it.
Yeah,
And as long as you're confident that this is the end of the road for us, then that makes all the pain worth it. If we know that
does.
we're solid in the end.
And she kind of just reaches her hand out to the soul. I know your shadow's with me, but if you want to, you can travel with me too. The more the merrier, sugar.
I'm already traveling with you.
Hmm.
I am you.
That's true. Let's meet her together, Philatia, the lover for one yourself. It'll be a nice reunion.
And I think those last couple words echo in your mind, hold you down. When finally, the dull, I'm not gonna use that descriptor anymore, but the echo, the vibrations of emptiness cease in these caverns, and what fills the void instead is actually the roar, the actual visceral roar of a bear whose cave you've stumbled into. Its roar is pained almost as if itself is experiencing the collective heartbreak all three of you are experiencing right now in the heart of this mountain. And its roar is enough to to break all of you from your respective trances. Again, as it is almost the representation of the things that are holding everyone back. But oh wait, sorry, the term I'm gonna need everyone to roll initiative does not apply here. But
Wrong
instead,
system.
wrong system, Amber. But you know, icicles hang in this mountain, threatening to shatter and pierce the heart of anyone that might cross the bear's path. But I'm gonna need you all to tell me how. Here, actually, let me describe this bear. Wow, this is a huge, frosty, 4-footed creature that's almost similar in appearance to a giant crown sloth, but still very bear-like in appearance. It's huge, hulking, massive. Though it's all white and its large white eyes stare down at the three of you over its frosted nose, icicles hanging off of its matted fur. There is a pinprick of red in the center of its chest. It slowly circles an exit of this cavern. Oh my god, Jan, I'm gonna get you. Preventing passage. But what do the three of you all do?
Risk is always ready to fight, but kind of just with eye contact checks in with Saris and Devotion to see where they're at.
I think with Devotion, you see the overwhelming development of her skin and her hair are dripping like water. And if you were standing close enough to her, but despite how water tends to feel cold, you feel just a radiating heat just irradiate off of her, and her eyes go black like the inky sea as she lets the shadow be a part of her.
Devotion, you are perhaps the scariest of us all.
Absolutely terrifying human.
Not her first rodeo.
Absolutely not. But I think this bear, the Brumal bear, is going to reach out first, but not even reach out. What it's going to do is do a general it's going to actually roar this time. A sub-zero roar.
Ooh.
It's going to combine the icy winds of the north and the dread of a large predator on the prowl for food. And let's see. And
There's a north in ink? Is this a globe?
This is not Norm of the North. No. The abandoned Twitter account. No.
A very fun account.
Yes. All right. So let's see. Well, I rolled like shit. So it roars, but since I rolled a 5, I assume that's no one's like actual defense.
My base
Nope.
defense is 5.
Is 5.
I don't know if we're doing
Yeah.
meets it beats it rules.
Unless I was
Yeah.
allowed to drink both of those potions without any effects, and then my base defense is a 9.
Whoa!
I know I did my preparedness thing on the boat. I don't know if that counts for the defense.
I would
but
say, yeah, I would say it does.
then it's a 6 then.
I'll take the hit if meets it beats it. I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right. Let me go back to it then.
I did drink the chill potion, though. The chill resistance potion.
Okay, hold on. Let
Frostproof.
me go to.
Yes, frostproof. Which I can double check. I am immune to chill.
Oh shit. Okay,
I'm
that's the
also
type of
immune to
damage it
chill.
does.
Cool.
That's the exact type of
We
damage it does.
prepared.
So it roars and like you can actually feel the chill. Like it is a bone rattling roar, right? Like you can feel it like deep down to the core of your bone. But it doesn't do anything. It's almost like the chilling visions that you saw beforehand make you immune to it. Huh. What a thought. But yeah, what do you all do in response?
All right, it's hostile. I brush off my denim jacket after having taken no effect thanks to both the potion and that, and I say, the cold never bothered me anyway. And I run
Oh,
in for
fuck
an
yeah.
Why
attack.
did I think you were gonna do that? And I'm gonna fight you.
Okay, so from what I can tell from the ink rulebook, you roll 2d6 plus either positive d6 or minus d6 karma to hit. If that beats the armor, then you do damage. So there is a roll to hit.
Yeah.
So if we still have positive karma, so that's 3d6 to hit, I believe,
Yes.
which is 8.
Yeah, I scaled this encounter down a little bit just because we lost Fleet. But yeah, I scaled its defense down to 8 actually for this. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. So narrowly, we got our first hit in. Gold Pentacle is behind Risk. Risk just does a point forward and a bit of a lean back, letting her shadow make the attack. And the way Gold Pentacle attacks, it balls up its big, clunky robotic fists coming off of the slot machine, and it takes 2 big, awkward, slow swings at the bear. The real intention being that while this is the distraction, a cable with poisonous energy kind of goes in from underneath the bear's shadow and stabs at it. Thus dealing 1d6 plus 1 poison, which is 4 plus 1 poison.
Oh,
and
damn.
because of my miasma effect, which is coming out of Gold Pentacle, that plus 1 poison is going to stay, and every turn I attack, I'm going to keep stacking it.
Well, damn. Okay. Shit.
I'm ready. I'm always ready for combat.
Hold on 1 second. I'm just making sure that I have the thingies.
Do you mind if I take the next bit, Ava?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, that I'm going to do this kind of thing often. I think the shadow, like actually, like she's still like kind of shaking to her feet, but her shadow like helps pick her up, and the cane actually morphs in the hands of the shadow into like a long
Ooh.
blade that she is just going to try and reach out to just try and just skewer the thing directly.
Yeah, go ahead, roll to hit. Oh, also, Julie, just to make sure, that was 5 damage this turn?
It says 4 plus 1 poison, so I think it's 5 poison damage.
Okay, okay. I wanted to make sure that I knocked it down enough on my tracker.
Sadly, no. Sadly, no. It's only 7, so that does not hit.
No. Yeah, you like, I mean, but listen, you make a valiant effort, but of course, with the emotional weight and like your physical inhibitions, yeah, you're doing your best, and that's actually a really wonderful effort, but like it just glances off. It's not quite enough to really start, piercing through to its actual heart. I think it needs to take a couple more hits. But you hear Gabriella in the background. You're so close to me, sissy. Devotion, what do you do?
We're allowed to move or do that, right? Because you have to use move during your turn in order to do stuff, right?
I'm not clear on the action economy here. Carrie, if you're still listening, the
I'll
action
double check.
economy is a little confusing.
I think what devotion will do. I think she's essentially just gonna blindly charge inflamed towards the towards
Yeah.
the bear and just start to like just bull rush tackle them.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. When it rains, it pours. When it
Hell yeah.
flames, it
Exactly.
pours. When it flames, it roars.
Jesus Christ.
We got there.
Yeah, please go right ahead. And
And then exactly 8.
exactly 8. Great. Go ahead and so describe again what you were doing to attack.
It's essentially just like a slamming into them type of thing, not a real power per se, just using the flames of the shadow to just hit it.
Okay, so it
Like
is
a
a fire
starfire
based.
punch.
Mhm. Yeah, kind of like
A
that.
Kirby
I
dash
don't want to
attack.
use combust right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's a 2d6 plus burn. I did not take the potion. I will state that for the record. And that's 6 damage.
6. Okay, great. Okay, I had to remember how to do math in my head for a second.
What is math?
I majored in journalism. I majored in words. What's
Yes,
numbers?
exactly. I don't need this.
No, everything that I need, all the math I needed for journalism, I can do with a calculator. Anyway, so and then I decided to do TTRPGs as a side thing. Anyway, so yeah, so you like almost body check this bear. You know, you feel like the power. Ooh, I love this actually. You can almost feel like Ida roaring up within you actually as you go to body check this bear. You feel you can tap in to the memories of being Ida as you shoulder it, and you get it, and you get it good for 6 damage. That's quite a bit. But in response, it's actually going to try to claw at you. Where did this go? Here.
Devotion, heads up. Oh, the claw's coming. Oh, here it comes.
Oh no.
Look out.
Oh no.
Block. Use guard.
Here comes the hurricane,
To the
bitch.
right
Ah.
bumper.
And it comes in with a giant fist.
There it is. Okay, great. So it's going to claw at you. It's gonna claw at you. Does an 8 hit?
And this is against my stamina?
Defense.
I know it's against your defense.
Yeah. No, it does hit.
Okay. So the claw attack does 1 damage. But let's see. I'm sure I gotta choose a tag to assign to it. I think it's going to assign like a okay, actually it's going to assign a chill tag to you.
Okay, that's fine.
But the chill tag like removes at the start of each round. So you only get it for 1 round.
That
All
also
right,
does
so
remind me, I stack 1 poison tag on it, so it takes 1 damage at the start of each of its turns.
oh shit, you're right. You're absolutely right. Thank you
That's
so
my
much.
bad for forgetting to say.
No. I remembered. I even wrote it down. It says poison every turn on my notes. And did I do it? No. Great. So that was its turn. But yeah, who would like to go against the bear next?
I'll just do something real quick. Not going to attack again. I'm going to continue to show off what the Fen Shadow can do. which is just
Yeah.
stack poison on top of things. I'm going to use my
Ooh.
tincture ability, which is my starting power. One creature within range doubles their poison tags, just flat. There's no attack roll. So I think what happens is Risk reaches her hand out and like flips it and snaps. And then just like a little bit of the corrosive poison that was put inside from Gold Pentacle probably starts to well up inside the bear. Its poison tag is now 2. I cannot use it in consecutive rounds. So next turn I do have to attack, but then I'm going to double it to 4. And I'm going to attack and then I'll double it to 8 is the plan.
God damn. Holy
That's what
shit.
normally it goes away, but the miasma ability keeps it, which is why I wanted it. So that's real quick. Just my turn. I've just doubled its poison tag.
Digivolving really can fuck you up. All right. Devotion or Saris, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna try and stab it with
Stab it?
my cane.
Stab it.
Stab it.
Yeah, roll to stab. Roll to stabby stab.
That is 8, so that is exactly what I needed for that.
Hell yeah.
So hers base damage is D6. Rolled max damage on that. 6 plus 1 chill, which I assume the bear is immune to.
It is
Given
immune to chill.
it's an entity of ice.
Oof.
Yeah.
Chill does not work. I also think she moves closer, and after she stabs it, she just says, she looks at Devotion. She says, "If you aren't going to go all out, I am." And I think you watch actually as the shadow, there is the blue flames that have been present all around here are actually starting to coat her body as I'm prepping for next turn when I do something reckless.
Oh, damn.
Yo.
You can't be saying that with combust as an option for me. I don't want to do it so early. Let's see
I'm also
here.
being mindful of our time as well.
That's true.
Yeah,
You know what?
yeah.
That's valid. You know what? That's very valid. Let's see here. Yeah,
Hey,
we'll go
Risk,
ahead
you
and
want to
just
play med?
we'll go ahead and just do combust.
Oof.
Yeah, and we'll do combust. She's gonna like still like kind of trying to grapple it, just like go behind it, so that way she's not getting potentially hit by everyone else, and just let the warm boiling water that envelops her just continue to rise in heat as it tries to like just scorch the bear.
Yeah. Please go ahead and roll. I love that. To try to melt it, even. Get to its core, get to its heart.
That is a
This
10.
girl is on fire.
And then the burn damage. What's the damage for reading? So it explodes in a fiery blast, dealing remaining stamina to everyone within a short distance. So is it like my damage
Your
plus
whole
my stamina?
No, it's just your stamina is the damage. That's why I was
Okay,
considering
then
it
it's 6.
because I have yes.
Oh, dang. Your stamina's the damage, so don't we have 11 stamina?
Uh,
Yeah, because Amber gave us +6 to start
oh
with. So whatever
yeah,
what have
it's
now,
12
so you
then.
have +6 to that.
It's 12.
Good God.
I think
Oh,
that
God.
dang. Well, unless I think that might KO Saris and I if we're in the vicinity.
What do you mean? What do you mean both of us? I got 16.
You have 16, it would KO me. I
Bastion,
probably ran
baby.
around
Please
to the
don't
other
be that
side.
close
So
to
much
me.
health.
What's the short range?
I
What is the short
probably ran
range?
around to the other side of the thing because I'm
Sure.
trying to keep its attention.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
I'm gonna theater the mind that because I want y'all to pass on. We're so close to the end. Yeah.
This whole fight is just Devotion and Saris being like, hey, Risk, you can play medic for us, right? Boom.
Yeah, something like that.
All right.
Yeah, like medic.
That did a lot of damage. That thing is now at about half its health. And it like you see, you know what? I'm gonna say it melts a little bit and its defense is lowered as well. And it shrinks a little bit. weakened, it is going to it's going to try. I mean, God, you can, as it roars out in pain, it is like the feeling of heartbreak and sadness and sorrow at losing something echoes through the chamber here. But it takes 2 damage at the start of its turn from the poison. And I want to try to wrap this up here soon because I'm being cognizant of time. I know we're 10 minutes over, but encounter. Let's do this. I want all of y'all to give me one final round of hits. I think with an attack like that, it's just going to be incapacitated for a round. But y'all get your final hits in, and we'll wrap this up.
I don't think I can attack anymore. I'm at 0.
Okay, you're at 0.
I'm at
So
0.
devotion's
I'm
out.
just vibing.
Devotion's
Just
slowly
slap me
on the
awake.
floor.
deal half HP to this thing.
Yeah, also I'm about to add 16 points of damage to that because
You're
the
about to
whole
add
blue flame
16?
licks up her body. Yes, because I haven't been hit yet and I have a stamina of 16. So she just runs up and gives it a hug and also combusts. Because we had 3 memory shards, which I did spend, but I didn't say what I spent it on, and I spent it to get combust because I saw how much damage it does.
Oh my fuck.
I'm on a team with 2 Voltorbs?
That's what
Wait, I'm supposed to be the self-sacrificial one.
Too bad you're on a team with an auntie.
Well, I dealt 3 damage if it fucking
you're on a
matters.
team with someone who has to take care of her little sister.
Actually,
Does that okay? Is that okay, Amber? Does that take out the creature at 16 damage?
no, it didn't actually.
16
But
plus
the
3, plus 3, and then it takes 2 more at the start of next turn.
the +3 took it out.
Good job, Riz.
Okay.
Guys?
Y'all describe your explosions.
Unconscious.
No. The rules as it's written in this iteration, because I did plan for this. Once we are out of combat, so long as someone is around to lay hands on us, we come back up to 1 stamina. It's only in the event that if we ended the fight and no one was around, we would all be dead, which would also be pretty fitting as an ending for the story.
Yes, I just reread that. Yeah.
Risk
Oh
technically
my
lives,
God.
so Risk can just be like, what the fuck is wrong with the 2 of you?
Friends who roll dice, thank you so much for raiding. We just defeated a bear and we've gone on a really emotional journey and we're about to wrap up. So you're going to benefit from all the emotional trauma I put everyone through tonight. Hey, raiders, we're at the how do you want to do this? That's exactly where we are.
I'm ready for the description for that last 3 points of damage. If
yeah,
we're there.
First, so Devotion gives herself up in her final act of devotion and not only protecting herself, but protecting the people that she's been on this journey with for however long. Again, time here is expansive. It's short and long. It is truly a flat circle. But she explodes out in love and joy and everything and combusts and starts melting a big portion of this bear. But then Saris, or Evie, Evelyn, wraps it is 4 a.m. there in British. So yeah, go to bed. Saris wraps this bear up in a bear hug, if you will, to envelop it in the warmth and love and joy that she feels for being reunited with her sister for the first time in God knows how long. And also combusts because everyone on this team is a fucking electrode or a megaton or a golem or golem or whatever Pokemon else that does self-destruct. A Ditto that pulls out, self-destruct on metronome. I think Dittos can learn.
Sucks. So
Dittos do transform. Togepi does metronome, but I'm there with you. I'm there with you.
Yeah. It's why isn't Togepi in the new games? Anyway, that's I have questions for the Pokemon Company. Anyway, but yeah, no, actually, I want you, Risk, to tell me your final reward for exploding and melting this bear.
All right.
How do you take this out?
Risk sees both Devotion and Saris use their combustion abilities to knock the thing onto its last legs, probably blowing holes in like the chunks of ice, perhaps, or something if it has started to melt before. This thing teetering on the brink of defeat. Risk turns their beanie backwards because it's serious mode, like Ash Ketchum, and says, all right, I didn't have friends before. I kind of drove them away. So now, with them on my side, with their last gamble, you're going down. Risk points forward like Jotaro Kujo, whose stand punch powers are aura, 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 but Risk, fighting with gold pentacles, goes with gold pentacle, doing a rapid fire punch and knocking the bear over. Poses for a second, and then immediately the composure drops and she runs to check on her friends. Holy shit!
Oh my god.
So
Lots of process with that one, sorry.
no, you're so good. You do that.
Right, Angelica.
You just fucking do that. That's what you do. That is in fact the thing that Risk does. And I'm beating this joke down. So yeah. And immediately after the barrage of aura, 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 hey, 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 or aura, or oi, 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 I think is what we would do in the streets. Anyway, so what, you lay hands, but the bear itself, the thing surrounding the red beating center of the bear melts and kind of flows away and rejoins the ice itself. The bear was really just like a vessel that was carrying really what you were looking for this entire time. The passage beacon. The red heart that sat at the center of this bear grows with it beats, and every subsequent beat it just grows bigger and bigger and bigger, the light emanating off of it reflecting, and it's really the first time you're seeing any light that isn't just the moon or just incidental whatever flickers of whatever creature you come across. It is truly a beacon shining through. What do you do when you are Risk lays hands on you, brings the people who are KO'd back up, but what how do you feel when the warmth suddenly rolls over your body like a comforting hug, your favorite hoodie, a plush blanket at the end of a day? How does it feel to you?
I think for Devotion, it feels like all the iterations she's had comes back home as they're waiting for the one that really came before us all as a come to Jesus moment.
I actually matter because the energy Julie delivered for Risk running over, being like, holy shit, this is going very bad. I actually imagine for Evelyn that she feels it as like her little sister like waking her up by like poking her in the face annoyingly, like during like a Saturday morning. Just like, said we were gonna go to the library. Said we were gonna go. You said we were gonna go. It's just like, yeah. I know. We're gonna wake up. I have 5 more minutes to sleep. No. You said we were gonna go right now. You said we were gonna go right now. It's just remembering like an early moment. She's like her little sister really wanted to go to the library, just go get some books. And she's just like, all right, I'll get up. And she'd sound so annoyed the entire time, but those are one of her happiest memories, just taking care of her little sister, knowing that as hard as some things could be, she gave her some happiness.
Yeah. And Risk?
I think that Risk spent their entire time on the mortal world chasing the high of victory, of a jackpot. But in getting enveloped by the warmth of this beacon, the memory that comes to Risk is not one of victory, but of Risk maybe hanging out with two very close friends on the roof of their New York apartment, drinking beers, just shooting the shit, and realizing that that this feeling is not some grand victory, but it is comfort, it is security, it is love, it is friends, and that is what she has had on this entire journey with Devotion and Saris.
How do your burdens feel, all three of you?
Definitely lighter.
Like coming home.
I'm seeing you real soon, Gabriella. I see you.
I think there's a moment. Red light washes over all three of you. There's joy. There's the feeling of homecoming. There's the feeling of lightness. There's the feeling of love. And then there's nothing. But it's the most peaceful nothing that anyone could ever feel. It's that nothingness of completion. It's the nothingness of escaping the ink. And that's where we're ending our game.
Ink away, you might say, which you can enter in the chat for a chance at the giveaway of this.
It's over, Julie.
Julie, it's so funny that you bring that up, because actually it is time to hold on. Let's.
Oh, Jed's mad.
Oh God, you killed Angela again.
Sarah's fainted IRL.
I am slain.
Are you okay if we need you up for the giveaway announcement, Angela?
I'm good.
Come back, we need you.
Let me get up in a second.
How are y'all feeling? Are you okay? We can do a little bit of self-care after the game. But I'm thank you all for trusting me with this game and for sharing this space with me and telling the story with me. I appreciate and value all three of you, but also what we need to do, the fun thing, the thing that brought people here today, the giveaway, because bitches love free shit and I'm bitches. So
Pat yourself on bitches.
So we ran a giveaway tonight for 2 copies of Ink, the very game that we played. One for the general community and one only for subscribers. And wouldn't you fucking know it? Can we get a big drum roll? All right, the first winner. I was gonna do that too, but all right, you know what? The first winner of the community copy is none other than Angela.
What? I've already won one of these. What the fuck?
Angela, you won a
Okay.
copy of the game once it's completed by Snowbite Studios. Congratulations. And I promise this isn't rigged because the winner of the sub copy is
Wait, you
Ava.
fucking know it.
Can
Oh,
we
you
get
were
a
gonna say my
big
name again? I was about to
roll?
freak the fuck
All
out.
right, the first winner,
Ava, you want a sub? Oh,
I
that's so
was
much
gonna do
better.
that too, but
Yes.
all right, you know what? It's
My
a turkey sub.
dream.
The
Oh, I'm a
first winner
vegetarian.
of the community copy
mean,
is
it is
none
a
other- veggie sub with
thank
cucumbers
goodness.
and green peppers and
Oh,
lettuce
one-
and spinach.
We're not gonna cheap
Wonderful.
out. You get eggplant in that too.
Ooh, fancy.
I was thinking about my order at Subway.
Shall we finish this up, folks?
Yeah. So thank you all for joining us for Ink today. This is a game, the newest game by Snowbright Studios, the makers of Tea Time Adventures and Birds of a Feather. Before we wrap up, I just want to give everyone a chance to plug themselves, and then we will remind you of some things for the channel. But Angela, please tell us about yourself and where we can find you.
Hello there, lovely people who watched me nearly break down into not real tears at all. I wasn't crying. You can't prove it. Actually, you can. Several of you have probably clipped it, you heathens. I am the director of operations for Girls Write These Worlds. And we are going to have a zine coming out January 19th. We're still working on it, and it's going to be really cool. Oh my God, this is going to be a thing. We have amazing writers and artists. I've seen the art. It's nearly made me cry. Just as much as this one shot has made me cry. It's great, folks, with happiness. Like, just, God, I love this so much. This is so good. Someone else talk. I'm good. I'm good.
Here, I'll give it to Julie. Julie.
Hello. Such a pleasure working with these amazing people. Truly, truly have had such a blast, both with you all tonight and with Jen and everyone previously. You can find me on most social media as Julie CL. That is JULICIEL or 'I on Twitter. I'm a Twitch streamer, mostly do Hades and my stream D&D home game. They're about to go to space. They just hit their 20th session. It's a Treasure Planet themed campaign. They're finally getting off the planet. It's very exciting. I'm also a writer. You can check out our award-winning audio series, The Realm Tree, anywhere you get your podcasts. It's a 30-episode fantasy series about how fairies get their wings, featuring actors from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Genshin Impact, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So that's wherever you get your podcasts. Yeah, much love to everyone here, everyone in chat. Y'all are amazing.
Yes. And last but not least, Ava, tell us about yourself. Where can people find you?
My darlings and dears, it's your mother Ava here, and that's the last fan clap for the year for me. Typically, you'll find me on Wednesdays on Girls Run These Worlds with Roll for Luck. We're obviously taking a bit of a break for the holidays, but we'll be back 2023. And there's a couple things that I'll be in 23 as well that have not been announced, so I'm not going to say it, but see me in other places eventually. But usually you'll find me at TSUKIKOMUMAI, Sikigurumai. That's going to change eventually, but for now, you can still find me there and everywhere.
Excellent. Oh my gosh. And last but not least is myself. Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, anywhere there's internet. I'm a TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, streamer. Then I do fucking everything. Hire me to edit your TTRPGs. So I am also the GM of the upcoming game, the storyteller rather, of the upcoming game here on Girls Run These Worlds, DuPont Underground. It is our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle based here in DC, where our ultimate goal is to kill Mitch McConnell in Minecraft. And that's yeah, but that's not a spoiler. That's something that we've advertised since the beginning of the game. But you can check the VOD of our pilot episode on the Girls Run These Worlds YouTube. It aired back in October. It was a great time, very horny. And I can't wait to actually bring this game to life and kind of worked through my trauma from living in DC during the Trump administration. Okay, anyway, so anyway, please that airs January 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern. We would love to see you, and our coterie would love to take a bite out of you. But some final announcements before we go. The creator app here on Girls Run These Worlds is always open. If you, like me or anybody else on this call, has a story you'd like to tell, we want to help you get it off the ground. You can find the form for our creator app in our pinned tweet at Girls Run Worlds on Twitter. Coming up tomorrow, continuing our holiday one-shot parade, we have 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Regency, a winter masquerade run by Anne. We love Anne. We know Anne. She's gonna fucking kill it with her Regency game. And then tomorrow, Michaela, who tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, Michaela, who's a member of my coterie for Vampire the Masquerade, is running Berlin's Calling Vampire the Masquerade 5e because Michaela just really cannot get enough of Vampire the Masquerade. But Michaela is an awesome storyteller. I will probably be tuning in to listen to her tell that. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you to Snow Bright Studios for the hosting the giveaway and sharing this game with us. And the way I want to sign off, especially after a game like this, is my usual sign off on my streams. You're wanted, you are loved, and you are needed. I'm so proud of you for making it here today, and I'm proud of you for making it here to today, Monday, December 19th, 2023. We made magic tonight, and I am so grateful to every one of you. Have a good night, sleep well, take your meds, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.